Hey everybody, welcome to the Glimpse channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell.
Hello friends, today we will reflect on a book that has slipped through the cracks during the last 2 years due to pandemic interruptions.
It's been on the Things to Glimpse list for more than 2 years, and it's been borrowed from and returned to the public library a few times.
The Project Brave Glimpse team is proud to present Milo Imagines the World, written by Matt de la Pena and illustrated by Christian Robinson.
It's a book that reminds us that we can be too quick to judge somebody without really knowing them.
It's a book that inspired us to challenge stereotypes and the ideas, feelings, and opinions we all own about others. This is called Our Bias.
We did not come into this world with bias. Our bias was formed by our experiences, our relationships, our community, world events, and most alarmingly, the media.
Sadly, we see the events and the people connected to them as either good or bad. People are either heroes or they are villains, but there is so much more to every story.
We read a few reviews of Milo online. One of them said that the world is full of horrible, wonderful, complicated people, and that there are millions of stories out there just waiting to be heard and learned.
It's important that we catch ourselves as we make judgments about other people. With love, empathy, compassion, and justice, we can try to see the world from others' points of view.
As Milo sits on the train with his sister, he likes to watch people and draw the stories he comes up with in his head.
As we all do, each and every day, Milo's pictures are based on what he assumes about the people he sees. These assumptions are based on his bias.
A tired, whiskered man living in an old, run-down building. A perfectly dressed little white boy living in a castle.
A woman in a wedding dress meeting her soon-to-be husband.
A group of breakdancing teens followed around a store in the fancy part of town by suspicious security guards.
When Milo and his sister get to where they were going, readers of this book are presented with a harsh surprise. Without spoiling the end of the book for you, we can say that Milo sees the perfectly dressed little white boy is heading to the same place that he and his sister are headed.
This makes him wonder if he can really know somebody by what they look like.
Milo questions each of his drawings. Maybe it doesn't matter how people are dressed or their gender or what color their skin is.
This is the part of the book that made us dare to imagine beyond our first impression.
The tired, whiskered man could be going home after a long day at work to have dinner with his family.
The woman in the wedding dress could have been meeting her soon-to-be wife to start a life full of love.
The breakdancing teens might live in a fancy apartment in the fancy part of town. Let's talk about Milo a bit. He's nervous about something.
He feels like a shook-up can of pop. Excitement stacked on top of worry, stacked on top of confusion, on top of love.
And he says that his sister is just pretending to not feel the same way. When Milo and the perfectly dressed little white boy lock eyes for a few seconds, Milo gets extra nervous. It suddenly feels like the walls are closing in around him.
When Milo turns to his own reflection in the glass of the train, he wonders, what do people imagine about his face?
Do they know he's a shook-up pop can? Do they wonder where he and his sister are going?
Milo reflects on his own life and wonders if people can see his hard work at school, the calls from mom to tuck him in at night, and that his auntie takes care of him. Milo is much more than what he looks like and much more than where he's going. The shocking surprise at the end of the book is definitely part of who Milo is, but it's not really his whole story.
We get to see another one of Milo's drawings at the end of the story.
It's his way of seeing his life a different way, maybe differently than the reader of this book might see it after the surprise ending.
It's a drawing that presents a life full of hope and love and not based on judgments. To spark some discussion after reading this amazing book, Glimpse Kids were presented with the following writing prompt. What do people imagine when they see you?
We are encouraged to open up and share stories, share hurts, share things that are part of who we are, but aren't just seen by looking at us.
In the privacy of our classroom, we were able to open up and share. We had some great discussions. We want to share them with you today.
But some Glimpse Kids were uncomfortable with sharing those thoughts in this Glimpse video. They prefer to keep them private.
So to keep things anonymous, we have removed all names and have asked 2 Glimpse Kids from the past, Samir and Nadia, who did not participate in the discussion, to read our thoughts to you.
When people see me, do they understand that I'm going through hard things right now? When people see me, can they hear the love in my dog's bark every time he sees me? When people see me, do they understand that I'm sensitive and emotional? When people see me, do they know I'm sad because my mom and dad don't get along? When people see me, do they see that sometimes I actually beat my brother in chess match? I'm getting better. When people see me, do they hear my joyful laugh every time I find something funny? When people see me, do they know that I like turtles and want to protect them? When people see me, do they know that I can play the piano? When people see me, do they hear my dad yelling at me if I make too much noise and wake him up? When people see me, do they know I'm not afraid of spiders because spiders don't hurt people? When people see me, do they know that I love to ride my scooter in the summer? When people see me, do they hear me reading my holy book? Do they know that my relationship with God is important to me? When people see me, do they see a dog lover who wants to be a doctor one day? When people see me, can they hear me singing proudly in front of the mirror? When people see me, can they tell that I'm trying to be better and do better so that the world can be better? When people see me, can they sense the sadness in my heart because my grandfather passed away before I was born? When people see me, can they hear me talking to animals about my dreams? Would they think that was funny? When people see me, can they tell that I don't know how to swim? When people see me, do they understand that I'm sensitive to my surroundings and that I need to be treated well to feel well? When people see me, can they see a rock climber who doesn't quit until the top of the wall is reached? Well, Glimpse Nation, we hope you enjoyed our book reflection. We hope that you can take some time to recognize your bias, challenge stereotypes, and correct yourself when you wrongfully make judgments about others.
Thank you for watching. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thanks for watching, everybody. And remember, you can change the world one brave day at a time.
There's joy, there's wonder everywhere when you see the world from the eyes of a child, the eyes of a child.
This has been a Glimpse production. Thank you for watching.